rock and roll. The Texans win it.
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Appreciate you joining me. However you may be joining me, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial, sasportstar.com if you are listening via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio vault on sasportstar.com. We appreciate you listening there as well. Or if you happen to be watching live on YouTube, that's right, we stream all of our shows live on YouTube. Just go to SA Sports Star on YouTube. Go ahead, like, subscribe. You can comment along with the video, and you can watch all of our shows there, whether that's the Morning Huddle, whether that's the Blitz, or right here with Extra Innings. I appreciate everybody for rolling through. Fred Records already in here. And yes, that is one of the things that has been very, very trying over the last, let's say, 48 hours, 72 hours. The floods in the Texas Hill Country that have gone from Kerr County through Kerrville all the way down through New Braunfels, as we've seen, and have affected people up and down the Guadalupe River. And I appreciate all those who reached out to me, knowing that my mom lives in Canyon Lake and that I grew up there to check on our well-being. Everything's fine. My mom luckily lives up above everything in Canyon Lake on top of a hill overlooking the lake. And the lake is so low that there isn't an amount of water unless NOAA is summoned that would affect her at this moment in time. It has been a very, very difficult time for families, for people. Everybody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that has gone through something right now with everything that is going on. And it is great to see HEB rallying in strong early on in the process. And then you see the Texans and the Cowboys both donating $500,000, and then the NFL donates another $500,000. So you get $1.5 million from them. You see over $2 million donated by the NBA, NBAPA, Mavericks, Spurs, and Rockets. They've all, you get $1 million each from the Astros and Rangers. So Texas showing out strong for Texans, and that's what they do out here. And we support one another. The fact that there have been children at the center point of this, when you talk about what's going on with Camp Mystic and everything up there in Kerrville, it is truly heartbreaking. You feel for those affected. And all you can do is pray for those that have been affected, are affected, or still awaiting any kind of news surrounding what is going on. And they're luckily still finding survivors clinging to trees out there. So it's going to be a long process. And you thank those that have listened, that have helped, that have done whatever they can, and you can help. And we are your escape, as Jason has said earlier. And KTSA.com, on their webpage, there are ways to help, to donate, to assist in any way that you can. I know I'm going through the process of cleaning out my closet to donate to what I can to help the cause. And if you want to be a part of that, KTSA.com, they've got all the ways that you can help, whether it's non-perishable items, whether it's clothing, whether it is monetary, however you can help. It is all listed right there. But we're your escape to reality and to be kind of reprieve to all of that, to let you complain that Carter Bryant didn't have the greatest rookie opening, or to chill out the fact that Carter Bryant didn't have the greatest rookie opening game. And, the Spurs have been in California Summer League over the last couple of days. And we have made much about the Chupacabra and the way he has played through these first two games. But the Morning Huddle was talking about it earlier this morning and how the San Antonio Spurs, Mike Noyes, Harrison Ingram, and the crew, Carter Bryant, have been doing out there in California, and our initial thoughts.
Hey, I do want to play some of this sound from the Summer League. Coach Noyes, I'm going to call him the Noid. This was him after the win last night.
Pretty good. I think we could have executed a little bit better. That last three hopefully never happens. Hopefully we press up a little bit, and David knows that. But he was great for us. This was a great team win. I came into the game. We as a staff said we were playing all 15. That's what this is about. We were a team, and it was good. Everyone contributed in their own way, whether it was 2 minutes or 20 minutes.
When he says we're playing all 15, presumably he's talking about getting everybody on the floor. Now, not everybody played last night because Minix, Carter Bryant, and Dylan Harper were all out, but they did a good job. I mean, everybody else got on the floor. Now, some of them were on the floor for 2 minutes, but the rest of those guys did get out on the floor. So because Carter Bryant didn't play in game 2, they asked him what was going on with that.
Yeah, he's fine. As we know, he left the second quarter yesterday with an ankle injury, and it was super minor. So this was more precautionary than anything. Carter wanted to play. This was on us. We held him out. And so we're hoping to go into next game pretty healthy. I think we're getting to a full roster. Hopefully Riley makes a return, and then ideally Dylan's shortly behind him.
So when the schedule now, this was the last of the California ones, right? So when do they go to Vegas? Or are they already on their way?
I think they're already on their way, and the first game is tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't want to misspeak.
No games till Thursday.
Thursday. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
Vegas.
Thursday, July 10th, and they'll be they'll be playing the Sixers on Thursday. So that's when things get back underway. So the assumption is Carter Bryant will be there, and
Harper.
We're all assuming to see Dylan Harper in Vegas,
but for a game.
Yeah, a game. Then finally they ask Coach Noid about Harrison Ingram, who I was curious about.
Yeah, he's a good facilitator for us, and he knows what he has to do to impact NBA winning. And so that's one of the tougher parts of Summer League is guys are in a role that is not exactly the role that's going to make them successful in the NBA, right? There's only one ball, and a lot of these guys, they may be the best creator for this team, but that might not be what gets them minutes on a team where we do have De'Aaron, we have Victor, we have Steph, and the list goes on, right? Devin, Kelda, everyone. So Harrison's done a great job buying in. I think our team has a good understanding of what outputs we want to produce on every possession. And so he went ISO a few times today, but I thought he had some good pull behind passes, some good kickouts, settled in as the game went on. And hopefully he'll be good to play both halves on Tuesday. Yep.
Doesn't look good for Harrison Ingram.
No. Well, and he just said on Tuesday, even though ESPN's showing Thursday is the next game. So
I heard Tuesday as well. Maybe there's another.
Oh, it does
California.
say Tuesday, July 8th, Lakers. This is so weird. Well,
this is pickup games, man. So treat it as
they're so Harrison, they talked to him a little bit and asked him, where are you right now compared to this time last year?
I think just my composure, and the game has slowed down so much. Like today I was drawing fouls that I just wouldn't have even seen last year. And really my 3-point shot, I feel a lot more confident shooting threes off the dribble, off the bounce. And it really just my knowledge of the game. Playing in Austin a lot this year, got the ball a lot and going back and forth. I got to learn from guys like HB, all the vets we had in our team, and, seeing how they work out, seeing how they train, feel like my game has just grown so much in college.
Well, it's weird. I mean, Harrison Ingram's like a grown-ass man. Like,
Yes.
this is a 22, 23-year-old
A
dude.
Stanford degree grown ass man. Yes.
Yeah. So, like, while we're talking about Carter Bryant, like, being he just learned how to use the dishwasher.
Seriously.
Like, Harrison he's been around for a bit. It does feel like, though, and like I said, I was a fan of his game coming in. I'm with you, though. It's starting to feel like they're just in the spot for him, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, there's probably not a spot, and it looks like they drafted his replacement. Now, doesn't mean there's not a spot on the team this year.
That's true.
There might be, but it won't be in Austin. If he's going to be a Spur, it's going to have to be on this roster. And I think Noyes did make a point of saying, what he would do for the Spurs. He's going to be a shooting, scoring wing. He's going to be he's going to be the Harrison Barnes, get that position. And he's not going to be able to do that on this team, So what will get him on the team will be what he gets to do in training camp and in their preseason. This ain't the time for him because he's not in a position to do the things that he needs to do to make the Spurs.
So on this team, they're asking him to do things that he'll never be asked to do in San Antonio.
Because quite frankly, he might be the best guy on his team or put in another situation, or they want to see Carter Bryant doing this kind of stuff. So what will help him make the team, we probably won't see during the summer league.
And here's Harrison one more time.
For me, I mean, they're very clear stories about what they want in players and what they need for the team. And, for me, I just want to play my game. I'm not an ISO guy. I'm not a hezzy guy. I'm gonna get rebounds. I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna make open threes. I'm gonna get steals. I'm gonna be in the right place, be at the right time, and play as hard as I can. And, I'm gonna do the best I can at that.
And I think that he's probably one of the better players on this team, so he'll be doing the kind of things that he'll never do as a Spur.
No, you're probably right. So, good stuff from Harrison Ingram. Again, a guy I find myself cheering for.
Well, I think we all are. He
just seems like he does seem like kind of guy you want on the team. I just don't know if his game's going to end up matching up long term.
I mean, he'll be around for a year.
That's my guess as well.
Look, David Jones Garcia has played great so far to this point. Fred Record saying he's got to see more of this guy, depending on the competition level. Is he the real deal? We won't know, but he is doing what he has to do in the moments that he has to do it right now. And all that can do is open eyes and potentially help get you a look. Maybe it gets you in Austin and get you a two-way deal that'll get you to San Antonio later on. Don't know, but he is at least acquitting himself well while in California. Sam asking earlier, we were talking about a live event Tuesday next week, the Blitz. Yeah, the Blitz is going to be live Tuesday of next week from the Roo Pub, as we will be there for the Major League Baseball All-Star Game on Tuesday, July the 15th, February. Years flying by. I don't even know what month it is anymore. But yeah, July the 15th, Tuesday, Blitz live out at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, right there next to the Angry Elephant, just down from the big blind. More from the Spurs coming up as they signed officially their new big man in Luke Cornett. What does that mean moving forward for this team? And is there anything else coming down the pipe? Jason Minix was talking about that a little bit earlier in the Blitz. We will dive into it coming up next right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the second annual Back to School Drive. Saturday, August 2nd from 11 till 1 or while supplies last at the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-age children while supplies last. So don't be late. Saturday, August 2nd, 11 till 1. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Sponsored in part by Las Palapas, ProStar Home Care Services, Array, the College of Healthcare Professionals, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
South Texas summer is no joke. With temperatures in the triple digits, your roof takes a beating. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're local, family-owned, and ready to help. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from a team that knows South Texas weather. Whether it's commercial or residential, a small repair, or a whole new roof, get peace of mind with Stevens Roofing. Call 210-785-0994 today. Stevens Roofing has you covered.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Level up your summer projects with 4th of July savings on top brand cordless power tools from the Home Depot. Whether you're working on a fence, a planter box, or a new workbench, get the power and runtime you need with the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2 toolkit from the Home Depot for only $99, was $139. Get 4th of July savings on the cordless power you need to make summer projects easier than ever. Right now at the Home Depot.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry.
Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/radio. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ziprecruiter.com/radio to try it for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Appreciate all y'all for riding along with me, especially those of y'all on YouTube. Continue to comment, like, go ahead and subscribe, alert you when we go live, or you can just feel free to call in the old-fashioned way, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you want to be a part of the conversation, a lot to get into, including the Spurs officially adding Luke Cornett to the roster, 4 years, $41 million. What's very interesting about Luke Cornett's roster is not his roster, but what's interesting about Luke Cornett's deal is about how it is structured. And earlier today, Jason Innings was talking about the addition of Cornett, what it means, and what else the Spurs may be up to this offseason.
All the deals that we heard about last week becoming official, including Luke Cornett now as a member of the San Antonio Spurs. And hats off to Brian Wright and the Spurs front office. You know, when you get Bradley Beal going to get damn near $100 million to not play for the Phoenix Suns in a buyout, I look at the way Brian Wright's working contracts. Luke Cornett, who is going to wear number 7 for the San Antonio Spurs, because according to a tweet from Matthew Tynan, he hoped to be a third of the player Tim Duncan was, and he loves multiple factors. If you've seen any interview with Luke Cornett from his time in Boston, you know he's got a personality. He quite frankly, reminds me a lot of Matt Bonner with the personality. Now, I don't know about sandwiches, but the personality. I love that. Yeah, man, 7. I hope to be a third of Timmy. We all do. We all do. The contract, though, Well, 4 years, $41 million. And we all celebrated that. Like, man, what a good deal for the San Antonio Spurs. It's even better. I mean, you look at the breakdown of this contract and you say, all right, let's see, what do we have here? $11 million this year, $10.45 million next year. In the third year of his 4-year deal, only 2.5 of the 9.9 is guaranteed. So year 3 is a partially guaranteed. And the fourth year, 9.3 non-guaranteed. Now, what I really love about this, if my math is correct on this, that third year partially guaranteed, I believe that would be the first year of Wemby's extension. That fourth year that's not guaranteed at all, that would be, I don't know, when Steph Castle's extension is going to kick in. You start getting into the complicated math of this apron, first apron, and second apron, and let's not forget De'Aaron Fox, when eligible later in the summer, is going to sign his deal. I just look at this contract, and you look at the guaranteed money for Kornet, and you go, all right, again, credit Brian Wright for bringing in a guy, aging, with a salary that goes down over time, as opposed to you see so many of these, they get more as they get older, and you know that they're going to be diminished at that point. I just, seeing the details of this contract get me even more excited about this Luke Kornet deal, if I'm reading that correctly. And I am. The idea that in 4 years, 41, even if the whole thing was fully guaranteed, I'd have been impressed. I thought it was a hell of a deal for the San Antonio Spurs. But to see the way it's broken down, that's the Spurs planning for the future. That's the Spurs knowing we've got to pay Wemby, we've got to pay Steph Castle, and they're going to pay De'Aaron Fox. They made the move to get him. It just seems brilliant. And seeing a tweet from Paul Garcia, with Kornet earning $11 million, the Spurs are $12.2 million below the tax, $20.3 million under the first apron. So they still have some things they could do this offseason, and kind of wish they would. Kind of was hoping by the time we got back from the 4th of July holiday weekend that they would have made a move over the weekend as things became official. I mean, all right, I can hear Pledger laughing in the other room. You're probably laughing wherever you are. I don't know why my expectations were so high, but they're not being met as a Spurs fan. And I could tell you this weekend in Colorado, I was wearing a Spurs t-shirt on Saturday. We went up to Garden of the Gods, and Rob Thompson was with us, and his wife and my wife, and met some dude from San Antonio because I'm wearing a Spurs shirt. And he's like, hey, you guys from San Antonio, are they going to do anything this offseason? Now, that guy had no idea what Rob and I do for a living, I don't think. Maybe he did. I don't know. But the idea that it just feels like every Spurs fan is ready to hit the gas pedal and go. What are we waiting for? You see all these other moves being made, especially in the West. Are the Spurs contenders? And I know Joe and I talked about this last week. Right now, would you say the Spurs are in the top 6? I say no. What's nuts is before the draft and before free agency, I thought the Spurs were as currently constructed. I thought the Spurs, when they made the move last year for De'Aaron Fox, last year they would have been a playoff team. And I thought that was the signal that the Spurs were ready to stop skipping steps and become a legitimate playoff contender and build a championship level roster. And they've signed Luke Kornet. They drafted another guard. Now, I'm high on the draft picks. I really am. Want to see them. But I'm high on the draft picks. But I thought, man, they've got flexibility in free agency. They've got all this capital they could use for trades, that they could go out and get somebody. They could go make some moves. I wanted Kevin Durant. That didn't happen. But it doesn't even have to be a superstar. Who can come in and contribute to get this team better? You know, that Kevin Durant deal got made official, and it turns out it's a 7-team trade when it's all said and done. 20 different people involved. Pretty incredible when you look at it. And, you know, but ultimately, Houston has gotten a lot better. And maybe that's why the Spurs are hitting a little bit of pause right now. Why spend money if you don't think you can actually compete? Are you willing to go into the tax if you don't have a team capable of competing for a championship? But when we talk about skipping steps, isn't the next step to be a playoff team? I mean, it's been so long. It's been Luke Cornett's jersey number since the Spurs have been in the playoffs. Isn't that the next step? Get a little playoff experience. See what that feels like for some of these young players. You know, for Wemby. I mean, wouldn't it be nice for Wemby to have a playoff run in him before he signs that next deal? I mean, this contract that Cornette signed is set up to kind of help when Wemby's contract kicks in. And we all know that it's a percentage of caps. You know, all the people that were just freaking out over what Devin Booker is going to get paid as he signed that 2-year extension with the Phoenix Suns. It's a percentage of cap. SGA, percentage of cap. And I know we're getting close to these NBA dudes making damn near $1 million a game. But it's all a percentage of cap. And the numbers keep rising, which means those salaries are going to keep rising. I mean, did you see Cooper Flagg? That dude's probably going to make $1 billion or close to it before he's 30 years old in NBA salaries if he gets all the max extensions he's predicted to get. And that has nothing to do with endorsement money. That's just NBA salary for Cooper Flagg because it's percentage of cap. The cap keeps going up, and that's what's going to keep happening. Kind of thought we'd see a little bit more activity from the Spurs over the weekend, even if it's a small move. And I'm not talking about them completing the trade with Indiana for a dude you didn't know in cash considerations. And have you ever wondered, what does cash considerations actually mean? You never really see a consistent dollar amount to it. And is it they consider sending you cash, or is it a certain amount of cash? But it's a second round pick, which are, I don't want to say worthless because everybody's going to point to Manu Ginobili, right? But there's not a whole lot of second round picks that are impact players in the NBA. The percentage of successful second round picks is pretty small, but there's value in there just in working trades because of cash considerations.
I mean, Joker turned out pretty good.
I mean, like I said, there's an example, and again, everybody's going to come up with the same 3 to 5 examples.
Do they get to use these cash considerations on Project Marvel?
No. Oh, maybe. Maybe. I don't know what the cash is for. Can you use it for whatever you want, or does it have to be for, I don't know, new practice towels? I mean, cash considerations. Spurs did complete a trade, so you can't tell me they didn't do anything. They've added cash considerations. And I don't know how much the cash considerations are actually going to help this team become a playoff team. Although 2 games into the summer league out there in California, some dude named David Jones Garcia would love cash considerations for his play. Now, admittedly, I last night landed close to 7. Got home, remembered the game was on, put it on. It was fourth quarter. I didn't see much. I didn't see much. David Jones Garcia led the Spurs in scoring in game 1. The report that I read had no mention of this guy, even though he was the leading scorer. Last night's game, still no mention of David Jones Garcia. We looked him up. You probably Googled him too. I have no idea. What is he, 6'4", small forward from the DR? Played at a couple of big-time college programs. I have no idea what the Spurs' plans are for this guy, if he fits. But my goodness, you're a leading scorer in 2 preseason or 2 summer league games like that. Is there anything there? Or is he kind of like one of those guys in the NFL that are incredible in August and can never do squat once they make it to the NFL regular season? I don't know if he's destined for the G League or what his future is. And I've never seen him play. By the time I got home last night and put the game on, I didn't get to see him. So he's the chupacabra as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I have no idea who he is. I've never seen him play, but I look at the box score and say, who is this guy? Did you watch any of the games over the weekend, James?
Yeah, I watched last night's game.
I mean, does this guy look like he has a future? I mean,
it's tough to say because of the competition, but he's obviously been the best player. And that includes the first game where we did get to see Carter Bryant play.
Well, and again, and Carter Bryant, I did see this on Twitter. People calling him a bust already. Stop. It's one of the things that I don't like about Twitter. I mean, one, he's a rookie. If you recall Wemby's first game, people were calling, Spurs made a mistake. Dude, it's the summer league. It is so difficult. You just want to see him, and you want to see him healthy. He didn't play yesterday. Not a surprise there, too. I saw people complaining about that. Oh, it would be the Spurs to load manage in the summer. It's normal. I mean, this is normal. It's kind of I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Don't overreact. It's summer league.
He's right. Don't overreact. Remember, there was overreaction on Wemby's first game, and he turned out just fine. As a matter of fact, he played better in his second game and looked exactly like who we thought he was going to look like. Carter Bryant, while he didn't shoot well, his stroke looked solid, and he defended well in that first game. We didn't get a chance to see him in the second game. And to be fair, we didn't see Wemby in anything outside of Vegas. So we'll get to see some Bryant. We'll get to see some Harper while we're in Vegas. Hopefully we'll get to see him tomorrow night. Not both of them, but at least Carter Bryant for a little bit. But Vegas is where we're going to get the biggest sneak peek. And then after Vegas, we won't see him again until training camp. And then preseason. Hopefully, and this is for the guys like David Jones-Garcia, who is hoping to get a two-way invite to potentially be part of the roster that can go back and forth to Austin the same way Riley Minix did last year, or Harrison Ingram. And maybe, just maybe, Harrison Ingram's a guy. I saw his body transformed this year in Summer League. So maybe he's a guy that can, they haven't done anything outside of the Cornette signing. They need bigger bodies on this roster because they don't have a lot of them. Maybe he can provide that. Maybe he can be that outside floor spacing, do the dirty work down low, big guy that they need. Because let's face it, that's what they need. They've got a bunch of guards. They need some bigger bodies on this roster. The signing of Cornette helps with that, but outside of him, Harrison Barnes, Wemby, and I don't know, maybe Riley Minix, who's also a two-way guy, Harrison Ingram. You need Carter Bryant to do something because you need those guys with that kind of size that can defend multiple positions. That's what this roster needs. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out the rest of Summer League. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. When we come back, NBA win totals. What do the Spurs look like? Who do you expect to make a jump up into the playoff standings? Well, the Morning Huddle was talking about it earlier this morning. We'll discuss when we come back. Next Innings with pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the second annual Back to School Drive, Saturday, August 2nd from 11 till 1 p.m. or while supplies last at the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-age children while supplies last, so don't be late. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Sponsored in part by North Park Toyota, Central Mid, Romo Doors, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
At Natural Bridge Caverns, the passage of time and moving water have carved out a massive underground creation. Hidden Wonders, our newest cave tour. Watch thousands of lights reveal otherworldly sculptures in a massive canyon with a sound and light show finale. Or visit the largest of our two caverns with a discovery tour, winding through majestic rooms with incredible formations. Above ground, top off your adventure with a zip along the sky rails on our towering ropes course. Choose your adventure at naturalbridgecaverns.com.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate all y'all for riding along with me at night. We take you up into 7 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock, Rangers baseball takes over as they get set to take on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, opening up a set with them up there in Anaheim. But until then, I will keep you company all the way up till the top of the hour and bring you the best from today. Like earlier today on the Morning Huddle, not when they interviewed Ozzy Osbourne, but when they were talking about NBA win totals and what to expect from teams this year. Because, look, there's going to be some shakeups, especially in the Eastern Conference. You look, no Dame Lillard with the Bucks anymore. You've got no Tyrese Halliburton for the entire season. When it comes to the Indiana Pacers, there is going to be some shakeups. No perceived Jason Tatum for the entire year for the Boston Celtics. The East is going to get turned upside down. You see what the Hawks have done. That's probably going to vault them into consideration. But what about the Western Conference? You've got teams that have stayed pat, like the Oklahoma City Thunder. You've got teams that have added, like the Houston Rockets and Denver Nuggets. And then you've got teams that have done minor moves, like the San Antonio Spurs, and hoping that young guys can just take leaps. So, who falls where in the hierarchies?
Win totals. The opening win totals are out for the 25-26 NBA season. And based on the off season, I want you to play a little guessing game here. Give me the teams that you think they've got the biggest jumps from last season to this season. Like whose expectations have gone up the most from last preseason to this preseason?
I have only one jumps to mind.
Okay.
Well, Dallas certainly helped themselves, and that's easy. I mean, you had Cooper Flag, and you do all that you should expect. Milwaukee, lateral move, but of all the teams and the moves that they made, Atlanta
has the second biggest jump.
Atlanta did some stuff. I didn't really expect them. Who's at one?
Atlanta's win total is 46.5. Last year, they were 35.5, and they finished with 40. So they exceeded expectations. Good offseason so far. They're up to 46.5. The team with the biggest jump, they were at 24.5 wins last year, preseason. They finished with 44 wins, the Detroit Pistons.
I get that.
Their number is now 45.5, a 21-win jump for the Pistons.
That's just about impossible to do. But, hey, man, maybe.
Houston and Portland, both 10-game jumps.
And Houston, I mean, but their jump, they were already good.
Right.
They're going from good to really good, where these other teams are just finding them to get into average.
So last year, their total was 44.5. They exceeded expectations greatly, finished with 52 wins. So now they are at 54.5. Portland, who just refuses to be terrible, even though they've got every right to be terrible. Their win total last year was 22.5. They finished with 36, and they're still only at 32.5. I tend to lean to the over just because
no reason to doubt that.
They have no quit in them. Cleveland is 8 games higher. They were at 47.5 last year. They finished with 64 wins.
I don't know. I don't know. No Turner. They lost. This team ain't back.
No, not Indiana. Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland.
So they're
going to be down a dude.
They've last year their season win total was 47.5. They finished with 64 wins. This year it's 55.5.
That still might be a little high for me.
The same jump applies to the San Antonio Spurs. Last season their win total was 35.5.
If they give us any more than 7 more wins,
they were under. They finished with 34 wins, so they did not exceed expectations. They have an 8-game jump to 43.5.
I was looking at 42 would be my number, but anything more than 7 games, that's a big jump.
All right, teams with the biggest drops from last season's
first guy. I mean, Milwaukee obviously had some issues. They might have bounced back. The Pacers are decimated.
Milwaukee went from 51.5 to 45.5.
Boston.
Indiana went from 45.5 to 39.5. Boston went from 57.5 to 43.5. They are the second biggest dropper.
And all these are in the East, by the way.
The biggest dropper from last year, a team opened with 46.5 wins, finished with 36, and are now at 31.5. That is the Phoenix Suns.
Well,
who they disappointed last year, and then they decimated their roster on top of it.
Well, I do like the under on that.
The Pelicans, who last year they were at 44.5, finished with 49, and this year they're at 32.5.
Wow. Well, that's so predicated on Zion's health. He plays, they win. They win more.
Dallas last year, 50.5 wins. This year, 39.5.
See?
Huge drop for Dallas.
And that's probably more appropriate. I was afraid they were gonna probably remain even. Like
no Kyrie,
too much for Cooper to do.
But no Kyrie, and who knows how much you're gonna have Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
That one makes a lot of sense.
It's a little risky though. They could they could collapse.
Yeah.
There's a lot carried here, and because there's really not a lot of expectation of greatness this year. They're all waiting for next year.
Okay, so here's a tough one. The Utah Jazz. Last year, their win total was 27.5. They won 17 games.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think their win total is this year?
31.
18.5.
I feel like they're a little bit better, but there's still an attempt to. Well,
I don't know how they're
term.
And then Miami, Philadelphia, and Sacramento, they all dropped 8 games as well. Miami went from 44.5 to 36.5. Philadelphia went from 51.5 to 43.5.
So the East is just a barren wasteland. Think of all the teams that are going to be down in win counts. Most of the ones you named, apart from Phoenix, are East. Every one of them.
Toronto went up 1. Orlando went up 4.
Probably should go up more than that, considering what the East is going to. Orlando could be this year's Houston.
Indiana dropped. Detroit, obviously, with theirs is a huge jump. Cleveland's is a pretty big jump. Chicago up 2. Charlotte's down. Brooklyn's up 2, up to 21.5.
Can't fall off the floor.
And then we mentioned Atlanta's up quite a bit as well. So one team, the exact same win total from last year.
Lakers.
The New York Knicks.
Well, that's about right.
New York Knicks, 52.5 last year, 52.5 this year.
Just off this conversation,
I'll go under. But
I like the looks of Orlando.
I kind of like
Orlando and Detroit. I think Orlando could be this year's Detroit significantly better, or they could be even better than that.
Orlando's, their win total's at 51.5.
That's a good season.
So they're already projected to be 6 games better than the Pistons.
I'll tell you, 51.5 is right there. That's a good basketball team. The East, all of those teams down. Somebody's going to break. There's going to be a run. There's going to be a team that breaks out like Houston. That's going to end up second in the East, and nobody's going to expect them to be there.
Oklahoma City, last year's win total was 55.5. Obviously, they exceeded that. 68 wins. What do you think they're at this year?
Down 2.
62.5.
Down 6.
Up 7.
Up 7.
Up
well,
7.
I'm thinking off their final.
Yeah. They're projected to lose 6 more games. Yeah. I kind of lean to the over, obviously.
This is gonna be, they're so good that they'll beat teams just because they know how to win.
And because they're like, I've never seen a team who cares more, especially in the modern NBA, who cares more about winning regular season games by margin.
Mm-hmm.
Like most teams are like, oh, we're going to rest our stars. They're like, no, we want to humiliate everybody.
I think 62-63 is right in there. Easy.
And then the Washington Wizards, 19.5.
Yeah.
They're sitting at. The lowest win total on the board, Jazz at 18.5, Wizards 19.5, Brooklyn 21.5, and Charlotte 25.5.
I think if you're in the West, I like go under. If you're a team in the East, pick for those low. I think there's going to be more wins to be had because so many teams are bad. I think you're going to win some games you didn't expect you could win.
Your top 5 win totals, OKC 62.5, Cleveland 55.5, Houston 54.5, Denver 53.5. Denver's interesting. They were 52.5 last year. They went under. They finished with 50 wins, and now they're up a game.
Fire their coach.
Yeah.
Drop Porter.
I think I'm going under 53.5. I think Denver's going to be decent, but 53.5 is a big number for a team. We don't know what they're getting out of their head coach.
I feel different on Denver. I think the subtraction of Michael Porter Jr. and the addition of Cam Johnson makes that team more cohesive. I think Cam Johnson fills exactly what they need to do. You've got Jokic, who is a facilitator as well as a scorer. And then you have Murray, and Jamal Murray lives in the paint and can dish outside 2 open snipers. And I don't think Michael Porter Jr. ever really truly, he was streaky as a shooter. So it came in waves. And I think the consistency that Cam Johnson will give them from deep will be exactly what they're looking for offensively that they've been chasing with Michael Porter Jr. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. wanted to be his own guy, his own star in a sense of a big three. And I just think sometimes that got in the way of the best interest of the team. And I think that's what Carter Bryant's going to be for the Spurs. They're looking for a guy not to be the guy. They've got enough guys that can be the guy. They need pieces around the guys now. And that's what Luke Cornett's going to be. That's what they're hoping Carter Bryant is, because they've got Steph Castle, they've got Fox, they've got Wemby, and they've drafted Harper, who is going to be one of those guys. Now they need guys that can take those backseat ancillary roles, kind of the way we saw with Keldon Johnson this year, to fall into a role that was needed for the team. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. We'll put a ball in the show, get you ready for the rest of the night. Coming up next right here on San Antonio Sports Stars, Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC-branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
You know, the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
South Texas summer is no joke. With temperatures in the triple digits, your roof takes a beating. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're local, family-owned, and ready to help. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from a team that knows South Texas weather. Whether it's commercial or residential, a small repair, or a whole new roof, get peace of mind with Stevens Roofing. Call 210-785-0994 today. Stevens Roofing has you covered.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Ever find a deal so good you think, should I tell my friends or keep it to myself? That's Kohl's Summer Cyber Deals. Styles for sunny days, home favorites for your space, and more. All at prices you'll love. Plus, earn Kohl's Cash, discover new deals daily, and get free shipping. These deals are too good not to share, once you've stocked up first. Shop Kohl's Summer Cyber Deals now. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end July 10th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
The Black Friday in July event from Dell Technologies is here with deals on tech like the Dell 14 Plus featuring Intel Core Ultra processors starting at $699.99. Visit Dell.com/deals.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Getting ready to put a bow on the show coming up here in a little bit, but just remember, check on those that you love, check on those that you care about. You never know what's going on in life, and especially in these days and times with what has been going on throughout the Hill Country, that means more now than ever. We got more Summer League action coming up tomorrow. Spurs take on the Lakers at 9 o'clock tomorrow. We got Summer League action going on right now as the Oklahoma City Thunder are taking on Philadelphia. Also, in some news in the NBA, Paolo Banchero has signed his rookie max extension, 5 years, $287 million for the All-Star forward with the Orlando Magic, as they, as you heard, are projected to take a big jump forward. But check on those that you love and care about. You never know what they're going through in life. And as always, we will see you tomorrow right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Free products and services are the best. They're next to non-existent, though. But the next best thing does exist. Barter. Alamo Barter. Right here in San Antonio, if you have a business and provide a product or service, you can barter with hundreds of other businesses that are already members. From trips to a medical visit, restaurants, and home services, Alamo Barter is a great way for you to trade out your skills with others. Call Alamo Barter or visit them online at alamobarter.com. alamobarter.com.